Hi everyone, it's me again from home, and I'm talking to you today about the second viewpoint. The second viewpoint comes under that same big banner as last week, the banner of space. The viewpoint that we looked at last week was about spatial relationship. For example, right now, my spatial relationship is far away from the camera. If I come up here, my spatial relationship is really close, and it looks a little bit funny. Today's viewpoint that we're going to explore is architecture. Here are some examples of me interacting with the architecture now. My partner, Matt, does silks, so he has this silk hanging from the ceiling. When I hold it like this, I'm interacting with the architecture. There is a curtain behind me. If I close it, I'm interacting with the architecture. Or, if I hide behind it, I am also interacting with the architecture. We'll now head to the studio so that Kristen can show you some examples of architecture themselves. In the video that you can see on screen now, you can see that I am explaining to Kristen some of the rules about a new viewpoint. This new viewpoint is the second viewpoint, and it is called architecture. Architecture means what is in the space and how we interact with the things in the space. I'm telling Kristen now to go and walk and stand against the wall. The wall is part of the architecture of the building. This is part of the theatrical language. Kristen is now very close, creating a spatial relationship with the architecture of the wall. This spatial relationship is therefore linked to the architecture. Now that Kristen is lying down in relation to the architecture of the floor and also the architecture of the wall. As Kristen orients herself one way, she has one relationship with the architecture, and when Kristen orients herself the other way, she has another relationship with the architecture. Both of these architectural relationships tell us different things about the character. Now I'm telling Kristen to have a go at walking as if she is walking along the wall, rather than along the floor. Kristen is going to begin walking along the wall soon. When Kristen begins walking across the wall, you will see that it looks quite unnatural. This is because in our day-to-day lives, we have a relationship with architecture that means that we walk across the floor. When Kristen is doing, as she's doing now, trying to move across the wall with her feet, it looks very unusual. This begins to move us from the world of realism and naturalism toward the world of the absurd, the abstract, the unpredictable, or even the dance-like. This is one way that theatre can subvert or surprise expectations. Now that Kristen is standing up against the wall, Kristen's relationship with the wall has created the same architectural relationship that I discussed earlier. When Kristen is against the wall, it seems like she is trying to be further away from me, perhaps trying to hide from me, or perhaps just feels safer when attached to the wall. One example of unusual architectural thinking in a show is as Kristen is now. It's in a show called Love and Information, and it's a character lying in bed, but the bed is tipped up so that Kristen would be facing us against the wall. Now Kristen is walking to interact with another feature of the architecture or the building. Kristen is lying down on this slat. Kristen lying down on the slat shows us that the slat could be used as a bed or a bench or just somewhere for a character to rest. This is an example of how the architecture of a space can be used to our advantage rather than changed. And now it's your turn. You've seen how we can create a relationship with the things around us, so it's your turn to have a go at this in your own home, or at your residential provider, or at your arts provider. You can do this anywhere you like. You could also do it outside, you could do it at a park, you could do it on the bus. There are all kinds of architectural relationships around us in our day-to-day lives. You have a go and send them to the email up on screen after this.